Hello and welcome back. It's puzzle time with Sudoku Sleuth, and fantastic milestone. I have got just over 2,000 subscribers as of the time of recording, 2002 actually. So really, just first off, huge thank you to all of you for enjoying this channel, the content, being subscribers and supporters of this channel. Certainly just subscribing really does help. Obviously supporting on Patreon really does help. And thank you for all of you guys for being with me on this journey. Now, I've been really lucky in that a couple of constructors, without me prompting them even, so it's really generous of both of them for being able to do so, have created a couple of puzzles, one each, for this particular occasion. Now, I ran a poll, and I'm not even really going to wait for the results, because as of the time of recording, less than 25% of you are interested in a live solve. Doesn't exactly surprise me, like the time zone difference, you know, everyone's kind of busy lives, makes it quite awkward to actually enjoy one of these things. So rather than sort of kind of wait further, I am just going to go ahead and record. And I went with 2002 because when I wrote 2000 everywhere, it just kind of reminded me of like Y2K. So here is Sleuth celebrating in absolute style, with confetti, of course, because it's silent compared to fireworks, which absolutely frightens my dogs. Anyhow, really looking forward to the two puzzles that we are going to be playing today, and starting off with one from gUBBLOR. Let's take a look at today's first puzzle with, it is meant to say Sudoku Sleuth 2K subscriber celebration by gUBBLOR. I once again took the liberty of shortening it a bit. We do have, of course, in the middle, the 2, the K. Please don't mix the 2 with Y2K. And a bunch of rules that are going to be quite interesting to play with. So first one is normal Sudoku rules apply. That means place the digits 1 to 9 once each in every row, every column. Wow, I'm really struggling with columns. And every 3 by 3 box. That's the first rule, nothing unusual there. Sorry, one moment. Pardon me. Okay. Second rule, and you know, like I really don't know why my desktop does this, where it essentially just freezes a little bit, and I always struggle with selecting a column. Come on, there you go. German whispers. So adjacent digits along each German whisper line must have a difference of at least 5, and digits may repeat on the line. So if this cell here is a 2, the neighboring cells are going to have to be 5 or more away. This would be 7, 8, or 9 as an example. And if you determine that this is, for example, an 8, this cell would have to be 5 or more away, so that would be 1, 2, or 3. Notice the pattern of low digits 1, 2, 3, 4, high digits 6, 7, 8, 9, repeated. No 5s on German whisper lines. You probably all know that by now. Then we have thermometers. Digits along each thermometer must increase starting from the bulb end. Digits may repeat on thermometers. Now I'm pretty sure I saw something in here. Yes, for clarity, row 5, column 6 is the bulb of both a bidirectional arrow and a bidirectional thermo. We haven't talked about arrows for a second, but essentially you can see that this is the bulb end. There is a bidirectional thermo, so there is one thermometer this way and one thermometer that way. If this cell, for example, is a 2, I have to increase from the bulb end. That could be 3, that could be 5. What I cannot do is start decreasing at any single point. The steps don't have to be regular either. This is a step of 1, a step of 2. Clearly the negative 1 doesn't work. I could go up to 9. That would be totally valid as a thermometer. What else do we have? Arrows. The digits along each arrow must sum to the digit in the circled cell. My 2 example is awful because what it's saying is essentially this arrow made up of 3 cells is going to have to sum up to whatever this value is. To get to 2, that could be 1, 1, and 0 apparently. This will get us there. 0 is clearly not allowed under today's rule sets. And once again, there is a double arrow. What was the language that gUBBLOR used? Bidirectional arrow. There's an arrow that sums up to a value that's in here, and there's another arrow that sums up to the same value. That's what's in there. Don't make the mistake of adding all 6 cells up. That's probably not going to work. Then we have Kropki dots. A black dot between cells indicates cell values at a 2:1 ratio. This cell is a 2. This would have to be 1 or 4, so that one cell is essentially double the other. A white dot between cells indicates cell values that are consecutive. So if this cell is a 7, this would have to be 6 or 8, so that it is indeed consecutive with the 7. Not all dots are shown. A 2 and an 8 in here, for example, has no bearing on black Kropki dots. Let's try that again. A 2 with a 4 in here, they're clearly in a 2:1 ratio. Doesn't matter. 7 with a 6 in here, they're clearly consecutive without a white dot. Doesn't matter either. X's and V's. X's sum up to 10. So these 2 cells must sum up to 10. I've got a 2 given here. This would have to be an 8 to make sure they do sum up to 10. These 2 cells have to add up to 5. That's the only V I can see. So let's just remove a bunch of things in here. So if this cell is a 2, this would have to be 3 to make sure that these 2 cells are adding up to 5. Not all X's and V's are shown. So a 2 with a 3 in here, clearly adding up to a 5, not an issue. A 3 with a 7 in there, clearly adding up to a 10, no X, no V, also not a problem. So plenty of rules for today's puzzle. Now, if you want to play along, you want to celebrate this milestone, remember there will be 2 puzzles. Link will be in the description down below for you to do so. And with that said, I'm going to restart the clock and see how I get on. Right. So this arrow, right, let's have a think. This is at least 1, 2, 3. There are 3 unique digits because they're all in the same column. This is at least a 6, and I think it's probably going to be 6, 7, 8, 9. It's exactly 6. 6, 7, 8, and 9. Lovely. And I guess, yeah, that's 7, 8, and 9 as well. We have a break-in. Obvious why this is, so, essentially 1, 2, 3 is the minimum, which makes this a 6. It's also the maximum I can afford to do because the thermometer has to increase. Can't go beyond 9. Puts 4 and 5 in the rest of the column. These 3 cells could be 1, 2, 3, but they don't have to be. They don't have to be unique, so maybe not the way to go. Pardon me, I'm just having a look around to see if there's anything obvious. Kind of? Yeah. Oh, there's quite a few things. Take a look at row 8. So these 2 cells have to add up to 10. 1, 9 is no longer available. The other option, which it actually is 2 and 8. There's obviously other options like 3, 7 and 4, 6. The challenge with these is that they are not 5 or more apart. So 4, 6 doesn't work, 3, 7 doesn't work, they're too close. This has to be 2 and 8. Where does 5 go in this row? 5 cannot be on a German whisper line, or the neighbors will be 0 or 10. 5 is not 9. 5 can never be on a black Kropki dot because the double would be 10, the half would be 2.5, neither of which is allowed. And 5 can't be on this arrow because the remaining ones would have to be 1 and 0 to get us to 6. That's the only place for 5. That's a 4. That's a 5. Now, what are we left with? Well, 6 is probably the other thing that I'm thinking of now. And probably even the 4. So German whispers, aside from 5, 4 and 6 are always quite restricted. Now, I can't put a 4 or a 6 in either of these cells. A 4 in here means that the neighbor would have to be 9, which it isn't. A 6 in here would mean that the neighbor would have to be 1, which it isn't. It's 2 or 8. So no 4, no 6. And I can't put both of them in here. This is going to have to be the 4 because the 6 is too big. Again, it would require a double 0. And this is 3, 6. And then we're left with 1 and 7 as the remaining digits in row 8. We covered this earlier. 7 can't be here. That would put 3. That's only 4 away. So that is 1. That is 9. That is 7, which gives us polarity. Remember the shifting polarity on German whispers. So that's 2. That's 8. And we're kind of off and racing, really. I may as well color this now. So all of these cells are going to be high digits, 6, 7, 8, or 9. All of these cells are going to be low digits, 1, 2, 3, or 4. What can I do with this? If this is low, trick with 10 is it's always one low digit, one high digit. 1 and 9, 2 and 8, 3, 7, 4, 6. So this is going to be a high digit. Don't know if I'm going to really color much more beyond that. That's good enough for me. Don't know if this could be a 5. No, because that would have to be a 6. So this is another high digit. Remember how I said I'm not sure I'm going to color everything? And here I am coloring everything. But it does kind of help. 6 and 7 is not this cell. This is 8 or 9. And obviously I need to place all the low digits in one of these cells. That can't be a 6 because otherwise that would have to be a 1, which it isn't. So the only place for a 6 is in here. This is 6, this is 8 or 9. It is not 9. That's an 8. This is 2 or 3, which is 5 or more away. That 8 gives me 9, which gives me 1. That 6 gives me 7 to be consecutive. That 1, I'm not under a lot of pressure here. I could be 6 or 9. It's not 7, it's not 8. This cell, it has to be next to the 7, so it's 1 or 2. This is a low digit, which actually can be a 4. I could have a 9 in here and a 9 in there. No, I can't have a 9 in there. Or an 8. This is 6 or 7, which essentially means it's not 3 or 4, it's 1. That's not a 1. That's not a 1. That's the only place left for a 1 in this 1, 2, 3 run. Not sure I can resolve these just yet. I think this is kind of as far as we can take it for now. 4 in here, of course, gives me a double 1 to be able to add up to 6. 1 in there means this is not a 1-4 pair to get to 5. It's 2-3. This is now not 1-2, not 2-4, not 3-6. It can only be 4-8. Then I have a 5, which is not this cell. And then a remaining 2-3, kind of to pair them up. Look at me doing Sudoku. I'm just having a look around if I'm missing anything else that's obvious. I've kind of used all the variants, I'm going to say. Really feels that way, doesn't it? I haven't really done much with these, and these. So I may think about these next. There are too many options. It could be essentially 2 and 4 or 3 and 6, and there's really nothing restricting them from, nothing that's giving them direction, so to speak. 1 in here gave me 2 there, which gave me 3 there, which gave me 2 here, which gave me 3 here. That's not 3, that's not 6. That's still not resolved. It is, because, and in fact, it is not 6. I don't know why I thought that was 6. That can't be double 1. That's 7. That's 2. Couldn't have been a 3 next to the 6 or 7. So we're kind of really squeezing this white Kropki dot at this point. It's not 1 or 2. It could be 3, 4. Bear in mind there's a ceiling here with a 5. It can't be something that includes 5. It can't be 6, 7. It can't be 7, 8. So it's really 8, 9 or 3, 4. So 8, and it is actually 8, 9. Just Sudoku says none of these are 8. This is not 8. That is the only place for 8. So 8, 9. This is very restricted now because it's not 1, 8. Sorry, it's not 1, 9. It's not 2, 8. It's never 1, 8. It could be 3, 7. No, it's not 3, 7. It's exactly 4, 6. Never mind. That's not 4. That's not 2. Excellent. And that's kind of all the variants done. So we may as well do some Sudoku whilst we're at it. We need 4, 6, and 8, I'm going to say. This is not 6 or 8. This is 4. This is 6, 8. That's the 8. That's the 6. That's the 3. That's the 6. 6 in here means that is not... I don't know why I didn't spot the fact that this is 3, 6. That couldn't have been 3, 6 as a pair. Would have broken the cell. So that's 4. That's 2. And that 3 bounces back and gives me 2 and 3. That 4 and 8 is not resolved, but that's literally the last thing that the variants have for us left. That's 1. This is 3. This is 5. This is 8, no, 9. Then I need 4, which can only be in here, and a 5. Excellent. Oh, sorry, I forgot this variant entirely. What, like, why did I not see it? So this could be 2, 3, or 3, 4. Obviously, that 3 gives me a bit of pressure. It can't be 4, actually, because there's a 4 there. So 3, 2 is possible. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This is the only thing that's possible, 2 and 3. Which leaves me with 1, which can only be in here, and 6. And that 6 gives me 4, 6, 9, 9, 8, and 4. And we're basically at the finishing line at this point. So just some quick Sudoku and we're done. Watch me make, quick Sudoku like a near impossible task now. I think that's 2, that's 7. I need a 1 up here, that's 1. These are 3 and 7, that can only be the 7, that can only be the 3. I need 4, 5 and 6. This is not 4 or 5, that's 6. 4, 5 in here seem unresolved. Then we have 3, 6 in here. Yes, we do. That's the 3, that's the 6. And this is 5. Down here I need a 9, I'm going to say. I need a 2, which can only be in here. A 5, which is in a couple of places. This is 5 and 8. That's the 8. This is 5. This is 7. We know what this digit is. 7 again. So I need 3, which is in here. This is a known digit. Let's say 5. 4, 5, 4. And if I've not made any mistakes, 6 for the finish. Solve counter 2. gUBBLOR, thank you so much for this puzzle for the special occasion. Really enjoyed it, and we'll crack on with the second one. So moving on to puzzle number 2 with Sleuth 2K by Jobo. Again, not Y2K. And it looks from the rule sets just that tiny bit harder compared to what gUBBLOR has, but let's just quickly walk through it. And you've got the 2000, you've got the exclamation mark. Hopefully you're not too surprised, Jobo, by the fact we got here. And there's going to be more for sure, I hope, in the future. Normal Sudoku rules apply. Place the digits 1 to 9 once each in every row, column and box. Maybe I should just focus on the differences rather than repeat the same rules. So what do we have? We've got king's move, anti-king move, I should say. And every line is a different constraint. Thermometer we know, Ramband we don't, parity we don't, German whisper we do, and region sum line. And then the line in column 9, styled an exclamation mark, counts a single line of length 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Right. So, first one that is new here is the anti-king move. So, cells separated by essentially a chess king's move cannot contain the same digit. This is really something that only matters on the diagonals here. So, if you imagine that this cell is a 2, normal Sudoku would say none of these cells in the same column and row are a 2, nor in the same box. But these diagonals are not in the same column, row, or box, but they are a king's chess move away. So none of these cells could be a 2, and obviously that applies for the entire grid. We know what the white Kropki dots are, kind of. Digits separated by a white dot must differ by the indicated amount, which you can see in the number that's written in here. So if that cell is a 2, this would have to be a 6, so that it is 4 away, not consecutive. Now, every line is different. So this is line 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. One of these is a thermometer. So, if you imagine that this is the bulb end, then obviously we have to increase as usual. And I don't want to go much further in case that this is too long, which can be on either end and are to be deduced. So we can't actually assume that the zeros, which are looping, are not thermometers. This could be essentially the bulb end, and then that is essentially like one version of the line. That would be possible under this rule, is what I'm interpreting it as. Rem bands, so the rem bands contain non-repeating sets of consecutive digits. I'm actually going to demonstrate all of them on this 5 cell, otherwise we're never going to finish. So this is 5 cells long, according to the rules. If there's a 2 on here, one option to keep all of these consecutive is 1, 3, 4, 5, a consecutive set. Of course, I could do 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's also valid. I can't do 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. That is clearly no longer a consecutive set of digits. Parity lines, digits along the parity line all have the same parity, odd or even. So if that's a 2, this would have to be 4, this would have to be 6 and 8. You know, it doesn't matter what the order is, but essentially if this is even, they are all even. We've done German whispers earlier. Region sum lines. So with that, in this particular case, remember this is 5 cells long. So if this is 2 and 4, that's a bad example. If this is 5 and 4, these 2 cells are adding up to 9. These 3 cells would have to add up to the same value, like 1, 2, and 6. And the last thing is already what we mentioned, that the line in column 9 styled as an exclamation mark counts as a single line of length 5. So, you know, the exclamation mark adds to kind of the story, but essentially it's just a single line in here. So that's all the rules we have for today. So if you want to play this particular puzzle, as always, link in the description down below for you to do so. And with that said, I'm going to restart the clock and see how I get on. So what I'm tempted to do for a second, let me just double check. So thermometers, if I use letters, it's T, R for Rembrandt, P for parity, G for German, and R again for region. How about, can I use something else for region? Maybe S for sum line. So essentially, what I'm going to quickly do is try and eliminate possibilities from each of these lines, just to see what I can do. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 cells means they are not. So what did I say it was again? So of course, German whisper will work. Parity will not, because we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cells in the same box. That's not going to work for this particular one. So no parity. Rembrandt doesn't work because they are 10 cells. And some lines could work. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, we can make that work with these 6. And then thermometer is the last one that we have, which I'm pretty sure will not work. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah. So thermometer doesn't work. I did say sum line does. So this is G or S. We can probably discount sum in this one because essentially 2 cells are going to have to sum up to these 6 cells and sum up to these 2 cells. So the maximum I would be able to make this is 15, because essentially, no, hang on, I could do better. I don't have to have different digits, do I? No. Where I was going with this is I couldn't do something like, 8-9 pair and 8-9 pair. Technically I can. It wouldn't, you wouldn't have a unique solve because obviously the 9s could pair this way and then the 8s could pair that way. So in my mind, I was thinking the 2 uniquely solvable options would be 6 and 9. But 15 is too small because even if you make these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, they are too small to fit in here. Having said that, even if I do go with 8 and 9, sorry, I jumped ahead. I should say the obvious things. 6 cells, this is not parity. 10 cells, this is not thermometer or Rembrandt. So we're left with, what's R again? So it's not Rembrandt, it's not parity, and it's not a thermometer. So it's again G or S. Now I think I can actually discount the region sum line from this one. And why am I thinking that? Because the maximum I can make these is 17 with an 8-9 pair and an 8-9 pair. Now the difference of 7 in here, I think makes this impossible. Because essentially, to get a difference of 7, one of these is going to be 1/8, one of these is going to be 2/9, and one of these will be whatever is left. Let's go with the absolute minimum, 3/7. So you add all of these up, that's 9, that's 20, that's 30. I'm not going to get the region sum lines to fit in 2 cells to 30. So this is definitely a German whisper line, which means this is definitely, hang on, because I think we have to have, every line is a different constraint out of the following. So this being a German whisper line means that this is a region sum line and G and S are taken. Now we have what's left: parity, Rembrandt, and thermometer. Right, German whisper. I am going to use colors very quickly. So we don't know what the polarity is. We just know that it oscillates. These are going to be, purple is a terrible idea, green, and then orange for these cells. I should have done with the obvious things with the white Kropki dot. This is 1/9. These are the only 2 cells that could be 8 apart. And then in here with 7 apart, one of these is 1/8. One of these is 2/9. Now 4 apart with 8 and 9 gone and 1 and 2 gone. So 3/7 works. I don't think anything else will. Everything else is too close. I really think that is true. Because 4 would be either next to 8 or 0, and 8 is not available. 5 would be next to 1 and 9, and they're both gone. 6 would be next to 2, which is not available, and 7 we're back to 3. So this is forced. And now that places 4, 5, and 6 on here, which kind of makes you think that this is going to be the Rembrandt line. It could also be technically the thermometer line, and I could do like 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 or something like that. But it is not the parity line. So this is, given they're from different parities, 4, 5, and 6, this is either thermometer or Rembrandt. This is sum line. So 4 cells needs to equal 6 cells, which is not that difficult to achieve, to be fair. Difference of 2, I mean, the 1/9 and the 3/7 is sort of helpful. It tells me that this is even. And I know that because the only remaining odd digit is 5. And 5, and you take away another 2 or add the 2, you're going to get to 1 or 3 or 7. That's not going to work. So this is even. I also know, hang on, what am I doing? This is a region sum line. Just Sleuth, move on. So I was just wasting time on this. And this is, 2, 4, 6, or 8. Doesn't matter. So one of these is a parity. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, it absolutely could be this one. And because there's only, 5 digits, and 5 digits, quite tough to make this one a parity. Possible, but tough. Essentially, we'd need to have all 5 odd digits this way and all 5 odd digits that way. This is 5 cells plus another 3, that's 8. So both Rembrandt and thermometer work on this one. This doesn't have Rembrandt or thermometer, surely, because it's 10 cells. That's how we discounted it from the others. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Too big for thermometer, too big for Rembrandt. This is parity. So these are all going to be odd digits. And then, I'm going to put a P in here to remember, and this is another Rembrandt or thermometer. Right, so we kind of know what all of these are. Kind of. How are we doing for time? 8 minutes and not a single digit yet. Where am I going to go from here? Let me just think this through. German Whisper, 3 and 7 are very restricted. The 7 would have to be surrounded by 1 and 2. The 3 would have to be surrounded by 8 and 9. Right, let's try this. I don't think I have enough information to determine this, but essentially the 3 would be surrounded by 8 and 9. Then I would have to have 1, 2, or 4, and the 4 frankly will be allowed, because I could do double 9. And the 7 will be surrounded by 1 and 2, and then I could even have a 6 with a double 1. So I'm not helping myself here. This needs to be resolved outside of this box. Parity, remember, makes all of these odd. Difference of 4. I mean, nothing stops me from having another one that's 1, 9. Like, you know, essentially I could use extreme digits like 1 and 5. Yeah, so I don't think this is the right route. So, okay. 4 versus 6 cells. So the minimum 6 cells can be is 21. That's the triangular number for 6, and the digits 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's higher than that. Excuse me, it's higher than that because this is a parity. So I need to have 3 different digits in here. So the absolute maximum I can make these cells is essentially 5, 9, and 7. And then the remaining digits are in here. And the remaining digits would be 1, 2, 3, 4, and 6, and 8. So that's still like, that's quite a large amount now. So essentially I've replaced the 5 with an 8 in this minimization attempt. So 21 is going to go to 24. That's the minimum. And obviously the maximum, you can make 4 cells. Bear in mind, again, there's a difference of 4. So my best attempt in here would be 5 and 9, and then 7 and 8, which gets me to 29. So there's still like quite a few degrees of freedom in here. This is not what I'm after. So remember, these are all odd. If this is, so these are REM bands or thermometers. If this is the REM band, with all of these being odd, this is not that easy anymore. Because essentially I'd have to have at least, 4 even digits. I'd have to have another odd digit. Yeah, but it's doable. Ooh, tricky, Jobo. Tricky, tricky, tricky. King's, I forgot totally about the King's constraint. I haven't thought about that at all. So it removes, if you remember, I did talk about double 1 and double 9s to allow for 4 and 6. That is no longer possible. It's not an option because it would require double 1 within a king's move. But that it only removes 4, 6, and obviously the 5 that was never in there. But I kind of need more. Here's a bit of logic to at least maybe get us 1 digit, just 1. If this is not a 9, then the 9 has to be on here. Essentially, if this is 9, it can't be in any of these cells. I can't hide it anywhere else. Whatever this cell is, it's not here, it's not there, it's not there, because of the king's move, it has to be hidden in there. Now, if 9 is on here, next to the other 5 cells, so essentially it'll be 15 plus 9, which is 24, which is what I already got to somehow. Yeah, I'm not getting anywhere with this. Kind of running out of ideas here. I'm genuinely unsure about where to go next. The difference of 4 in here, it's not that big. It's not enough to really help. It's almost like a Dutch whisper line. But that can even allow for 5s. And the fact that it is an odd number, maybe I'm not using the fact that it's odd enough. Let me just try something. Essentially, all of these are going to be even. Orange is proving to be a bad idea. Let's try yellow. Yeah, okay. All of these are going to be orange. How is that helping me now? These two we've determined have to be even. There is at least one odd and one even in here. Yes. You know, difference of 3 will always make sure that there's one of each. The fact that the 1 and 9 are gone, oh, come on, Sleuth, this is 3-7. You're not using the king's move enough. Because the extremities have been, you know, discounted. The 1 can't be neither of these cells. The 9 can't be neither of these cells. This is, of course, now 3-7, and the only remaining digits that could be 4 or more away. Well, 4 away, exactly. And I think it's exactly the same issue here. 1 and 9 are gone, places another 3-7 in there. Wow. And then 3-7, because I've got 3-7 pair. So one of these, essentially I have 1-5-9 remaining, but without the pressure of the 1 and 9, so I could essentially mix and match, and I don't have a Kropki dot between them specifying a degree of separation. Right, so with that in mind, there is no 3 or 7 in here. If this is the 5, then 3 would be 2 and 5, 5 and 8, all of which seems achievable. The other option, of course, is it could be this 1, 9. And that would be 1 with 4, which seems achievable again, or 9 with 6, which seems achievable once again. Interesting. Okay. So these being even is not helping, but these being 3-7 pair, you know, a thermometer is very restricted here. And I think I can disprove that this is a thermometer. Remember, one of these would have to be the bulb end. We don't know which one, but it'll be essentially something along the lines of 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6, 7, 7, 8, 8, 9. Can I avoid a 3? It would have to be 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. Doable. Tough, but doable. This being a REM band now, yeah, it's fine. All I need to do is remove one of the 1 and 9s. The 3 and 7s that would have to be in here, they could be tucked away safely in there. Yeah, so no, I'm not sure I can prove anything just yet. I'm missing something that I'm just not quite seeing. Difference of 4 starts to get tricky. And this, the presence of this cell, now, I mean, I can still do 3, 7. Because this cell could be here, this cell could be that one. And we're actually okay, so I'm not forced to do anything specifically in here. Let's see if we can do something with this. I'm going to make an assumption just to sort of like try and appreciate what's going on in here. 3, 7, therefore 8, 9, and 2 and 1. Just like I just want to get a sense of what's going on. So this couldn't be 7 or 8, and it couldn't be 6 because of the double 1. So that would be forced to be a 9. Then this would have to be a low digit that is not 1 or 3. And obviously because it's next to the 8, this would have to be a 2. So interestingly, the 1, 8 side is like hugely forced. The 2, 9 side, what does that do? So the 9, of course, could be next to, well, it can't be 3 or 2, and it can't be a 4 because that would be, whatever it is, a second 9, which wouldn't be allowed with king's move. So that would be 1. Am I forced with an 8 in here? Because it's not 7, 9, or 6. It is 8. Didn't see that one coming. So essentially, I have another 1, 2, 8, 9. Interesting. 4, 5, and 6 can't be any of these cells. So essentially, I have another 4, 5, 6 in here. Presumably with one of these 3 7s. Let me think this through. What was going on? 1, 2, 8, 9, 1, 2, 8, 9. Then essentially I'm left with another 3, 7. And then 4, 5, 6, 4, 5, 6, 4, 5, 6. This is correct. There is essentially 4, 5, and 6 with a 3, 7. 4, 5, and 6 with a 3, 7. Then in here, I have another 3, 7, and then 2 of 1, 2, 8, 9. And it's got to be not 2 of, yeah, it is 2 of. Then this cell can't be 1, 2, 8, 9, 1, 2, 8, 9, 1, 2, 8, 9. It could be this 1, 2, 8, 9 or a 3, 7. It's very difficult to show. Okay. Let's try this quad of 1, 2, 8, 9s on this 4. You know, it can it be still 1, 5? I'm not sure it can. Essentially, we'd force a 1 in here, but let's just think about the implications, because essentially it would be double 9. So 1, 5 and presumably 9, 5 are all gone. 3, 7, still a viable option, but let's discount that for a second. 2, 8 I think is not going to work. Essentially, it would make this 1, 9, which is not the pairing. It's either 2, 9 or 1, 8. So I don't think that works. So we've basically discounted 1, 9 breaks these two cells. Why was 1, 9? 1, 5 breaks these two cells. 2, 6 was the pairing. I don't know why I just made something entirely up. So it would remove the 2 and 9 from here to create 1 and 8. The 1 would be removed from there. That is feasible. So 2, 6 is viable. 3, 7 I've discussed earlier. If that 3, 7 is all the way here, it works. And then presumably 4, 8 is still viable. But then 5, 9 is not. So it's limited, but it's just not limited enough. "25 minutes, not a single digit yet." What is the odd digit that is in here? Because we established we need to have an odd digit. And I'm pretty sure 1, 4 and 9, 6 we've determined is viable. Is it viable? So let's try 1, 4. What does that mean? No ones. That would be 9. That couldn't be 1 or 9, so that would be 5. That would be 1. That would be 5. Feels like it's going to break something, but I mean, I'm really overreaching now. Could I make this 2, 8? What happens if I do? I think the answer is it breaks. I think this has to be 4, 6. Because even if these two cells are low, yeah, no, it's fine. Essentially, it would be a 1, 2 pair, and then this would be the 8, and this would be... sorry, I'm not showing this off correctly. If this is 6, 8, that doesn't have to be the 8. That could be the 6, that could be the 8. It really has no interactions with any of these. So I'm not helping myself here. That's because I'm not thinking. I know the sum now of this. It is 45 minus the 10 is 35 minus either the 1 or the 9. Now, we've already established that the maximum I can make here is 29. So if I make this 34, I've broken this. It has to be 35 minus the 9, which gets me to 26, which is within reach. That's a 9. That took me a long time to see. No judgments, please. This is a 1. These are not 1s. These are not 9s. Right? These are now known. So on here, I have 1 and 5, and of course 2, 4, 6, and 8. I'm not going to pencil mark that just yet, but it gives me a target sum of 26, wasn't it? 26, 36 plus 9, 45. Yeah. So 26 in these 4 cells with a difference of 4. And there can't be 5 anymore because one of these 2 cells is a 5. So the maximum I could do is 4, 8. And then the other maximum would be 7, 9. So this is 24 plus 4 is 28 still. Wow. Can I actually afford to do less? Can I do 3, 7? I think I can. What does 3, 7 look like? I think with 8, 9 it's 17 plus the 3 is 20, 27. It's not even 26. How did I go from 4, 8 to 3, 7? Of course, because I bumped this one up. So 3, 7 is viable, 4, 8 is viable. I'm guessing 2, 6 is way too low. This is now 8. And to get to 26, this would have to be a double 9. So this is 3, 7 or 4, 8. Pretty sure would force a 9 in here. Let's think about that. If it's 3, 7, this is 10. And to get to 26 without, so essentially if this is 3, 7, this is 10, I have 16 left, it would have to be 7, 9. 3, hang on, what? Is it 26? Yes, 26, 36, 45. So 3, 7 to get to 26 would require a 7, 9. That doesn't work. So 3, 7 is out. It's 4, 8. That's a 12. I need 14 in here. It's got to be 5, 9 to get to 26 because 6, 8 is no longer available. And the 6 and 7 are both out somehow. Because 3, 7 gets me to 10, requiring 7 and 9 to get the other 16. 2, 6 is too low, it's 8. It would require a double 9 to get another 18 to get me to 26. Yeah, so 4, 8 is definitely in because the 5, 9 is out. And that forces things. That's 1, that's 5, that's 9, that's 5. These are no longer 1, 8, they're the 2, 9. These are no longer the 2, 9, they're the 1, 8. I think that, if you remember, that kind of forced a direction on this. Essentially, these are not the 1, 8s anymore, and these are not the 2, 9s anymore. This is all kind of forced. The 5s are no longer here. This should be solvable now, surely this. So it's not 1, 4. It could be, and it's not 5, 8. It could be 2, 5. That's a viable option. And then the other option that we were entertaining previously was 6 and 9, wasn't it? Which is not available anymore. So hang on. So we said we need to have a low digit and an odd digit and an even digit. 3, 7, and 9 are gone. 1 doesn't work, it's no longer available. So it has to be a 5. 5 can't be partnered up with the 8, so it has to be 2, 5. That's not a 5. Now this is not 2, so it's essentially 4, 6, and 8. The definite 6. This is not a 6. And then there is another 4, 8 in here with a 1 and a definite 1 in there. This is amongst the trickiest puzzles I have played in a while. 2, 6, 4, 8. Obviously because of this 4, 8. That makes this 3, 7. I don't know if I can do anything with this mixture of things. I'm sure I could. So let me just think about what is in here. So we said there's another 3, 7, which is not up there. It would be in here, in one of these two cells, joining a 4 or a 6. It doesn't matter. Can I really not resolve now after all of this work, whether this is a thermometer or a Remban? So if it's a Remban, given it's 4, 5, or 6, this would have to be from 2, 3, 7, and 8. And it's not 8. It would have to be from 2, 3, and 7. Which is possible. Let's think about now that the 2 9s are lining up and that there is one of the 3 7s in here. Is it 1 or 2? No, it's 1. There has to be 1 in each. So essentially, rest of this is I've got a 2 9 pair, a 1 8 pair. I have 1 3 7 and 4 5 6, and then another 1 3 7 and then 4 5 6. So in here, this is 2 9 3 7. And this is not a 9. So if this is a Remban, yeah, it would have to be 2 3, and this would have to be 2 3. Possible. And up here, it's 1 8 and 3 7. The 1 and 8 are not there. So this is the 3 7, and this is the 1 8 pair. The 2 6, because of the king's move, puts 4 8 in here, puts 2 6 in there. The anti-king move, I should say, or I meant to say. 1 4 and 8. Yeah, not sure I can do anything with that just yet. With a 6 in here, so the only thing that I know is that there is a 2 with one of 4, 5, or 8. It's not a lot to go on. What are these cells? I mean, we've done quite well up here, but I mean, I'm just wondering if we can get a bit more info, so to speak, down here. It's not 1. It could be 2. It could even be 3. Can't be 4. Can't be 5. Could be 6. Could be 7. Not 8. Not 9. It's almost a quadruple. So in here, I have a 4 for sure. So all I've got from this. No 1s. Could be in any of these. It's just not enough. I need to crack what these are. That's kind of the conclusion of this discussion, isn't it? So let's think about it. If it's a Remban, I have to exclude one of the 1 or 9. Now, the 9 would definitely have to be on here, just with Sudoku. But then I'm pretty sure I could, force everything else on. The 3 and 7, I'll put them in here. And whatever this digit is, because it's not the 1. Essentially, the only digit I'm missing is 1. There'll be a digit in here that I actually need on the rem band. It wouldn't be in here, it would be there, and this would be a 3-7 pair, which is fine. And then it'll be another 3-7 pair up here, specifically in here because of this 3-7, which is still fine. If it's a thermometer, on the other hand, remember this wouldn't be the 2. I don't think it can be a thermometer anymore, can it? Well, this would have to be the bulb end. Let me show you. 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6. And essentially, I don't have a 1, so the 2 would have to be in here where it would blick. So that direction doesn't work, but this direction I think still does. 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6, 7, 7, 8, 8, 9. Now, no 7s would make this a 6, which would still break because of the 6. So this is not a thermometer, this is a rem band. And the rem band was very forced because it's an 8-cell rem band, 5 here, 3 there. I need the 3 and 7, which are not on these 5 cells. And I need one of the 1 and 9. The 9, you can see in this box, is forced on one of these 4 cells. So essentially I have to give a 1 the miss. And whatever this cell is, it's not 1 or 9, which is one of the cells I need to skip. It's one of 2, 4, 5, 8. And whatever this cell is, I'll give it a color. I'm kind of running out of colors though. It's red, it's in here. And then the 3 7s that are there are in here. And this is now a 4. The 4 you can see now is none of these cells, and it has to be on the rem band. It can only be in here, which gives me a 6. Like, just incredible stuff is just popping out of nowhere now all of a sudden. And the 3 7 means there are none of these, none of these, none of these. They're in here. And this thermometer, sorry, this rem band is done. This is a thermometer. This is the direction of the thermometer. That's 5, that's 4. This has to be 2 or 3. Wow. Right, where do we go from here? We said the missing digit is 1. I need all the remaining digits, which includes like a bunch of things. 1, 2, 5, 6, 7. No, 7 is done. 8. So this cell is known. It is 6. No, it's not 6. 6 is down here. This is not a 6. What is this cell? 9. It is the 9. And then these two, are they known yet? 1, 4. Yeah, the 4 means this is a 1, 8 pair. This is 5, 6. These are 2 plus 1 of 4 or 8. Well, not the 8 anymore. This is 4, 6. So this is 2, 8. And therefore this is the other 2, 8. It's not 2, it's 8. 8, 2. 8 gives me 4 and 8. These are 1 and 5. No 5s. No 4s. Thermometer, 2, 3. This is 7 or 9. The 3 gave me a 7, which will be not huge, never mind. The 7 gave me a 9, which is still not huge. Remember, I need to have 4, 5, 6, and 7 now, and this is 4, 5, 6, and 3. We'll tidy this up now. Not 3, not 5. Can I do better? No. Surely I can do better here. Not 4, not 5. Seriously? Okay. This is now 1 or 5. It's not 5. So that's the 5. That's the 1, which gives me 8, which gives me 1. 8 gives me 4 and 8. 2, 6, not resolved yet. These three cells are surely known. Well, I mean, it's 1, and 5 here is 6 and 5. 3 more digits, 2, 6, and 9. Not 9. Not 2. This is 6. 2, 9 pair. 5, 9 gives me 2, gives me 9. The 2 gave me 6 and 2. This is now not a 6. This is 3, 4. This is not a 4. This is 5, 6. 3 and 7 are resolved. That's 3 and 7. This is also resolved, 7 and 3, because of this 3. That 6, 2 is also resolved. They are resolved. You can see that 3 gives me 7 and 3 and 7 and 3. You can kind of see that some of these are different because they're touching, but I'm not sure how to use it yet. I'm just sort of checking the borders right now for any king's move that would help me move forward, which I'm sure they would. Not a 6, so this is a 5, 7 pair, and this is a 4, 6 pair. 3 is in one of these two. I mean, we may as well just pencil mark the lot. This is 3, 7. This is 1, 9. And this is 2, 6. Okay. Need to basically check these boundaries that will just bring it all home. He hopes. Come on. Something I am missing. It's in here somewhere. I just literally just have to see it. So let's just assume horizontally this is all sorted. And I just need to be checking the boundaries. That's all I need to be doing. So I mean, let's do that. Let's lose these colors for a second. This is the yellow one. This is the green one. And does that help? Green 1, 8. Can I see 1 and 8 anywhere? No. Yellow 1, 8. No. This is not yellow 1, 8. One of these is the green or yellow 1, 8, but I can't tell which is which. What about here? It's been such an elegant solve once I wrap my mind around it. I don't feel like I've made a mistake. It's just about finding the right thing that I'm missing. This cell can't be 1 because it sees green and yellow, 1, 8. So that's 9, that's 1, that's 5, that's 9, that's 8, that's 1 because of that 1. That gives me direction now, and I think this is kind of the home stretch now. 1, 7, 3, 8, 9, 2, 9, and I imagine it's just going to all resolve from here. One hopes anyway. 2 gave me 6, gave me 2, which gives me 2 and 5, 4 and 8. 6 gave me 4 and 6. Oh, the 3 7s, surely it's going to be something like this 5, 7 or this 3, 4. Right, let's just see if we can do the others. This is a 5 because of the 7 above it. This is a 7. That's a 6. That's a 5. This is a 4. This is a 3. And there you go. 7, 3, 3, 7. And if I've not made any mistakes, solution. What a phenomenal puzzle, Jobo. I'm half tempted to split up the video. Genuinely half tempted to do so because, you know, combined, this is like an hour-long solve. Or maybe just put it up for a Saturday. Yeah, Saturday morning, this is a good plan. Guys, I mean, and when I say guys, that does include ladies. Just thank you so much for being subscribers and supporters for these channels. And really, for the two constructors, gUBBLOR and Jobo, they're two extraordinary puzzles. Hope that you guys enjoyed them, and keep it going. Bye-bye for now.